Hi everyone, Kieran Brown here, and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about the biggest gym mistake that I made in the past. Now, I remember when I first started off in the gym as a teenager, I'd rock up with my mates because I'd never be able to go on my own. I always had to go with other people. And, we get in, we go straight to the flat barbell bench press, and then do the 3 sets, pretty lethargic, won't measure anything, won't time the rests. And the two, three, or four of us, however many are there, we'd all do our sets, and then we'll move over to a flat dumbbell bench press, do another 3 sets, and then we'd move over to the cables and do the flies at about a mid-length. And all these exercises would be targeting the same middle part of the chest. There was no incline, no decline. And then we'd do some triceps, the classic tricep extensions, all the while just chatting between sets, not really concentrating on what we were doing. And then, the next day, or more likely the next week, or even the next month, I'd go back into the gym and just repeat the same thing. So what about shoulder training? No. Legs, definitely not. Back, didn't really enjoy it, to be honest. So pretty much every time I went was just training chest and triceps, and then maybe the odd bicep training as well. And what about ab training? I would plan to do them at the end of a session. We'd do like this P for P workout, which is on YouTube. It was like an 8-minute guided ab workout, and we'd try and do it after, but it gets to the end of the session and I just kind of want to go home, and I'd say to myself, I'll do it as soon as I get home. And the success rate of that was very close to 0%. So as you can probably gather, my exercise selection was just terrible, and I had no plan, I didn't track anything, and it just led to no gains and inconsistency for years in the gym. I first stepped into a gym when I was probably 15 or 16, and I wasn't consistent until I was around like 23, and that was when I made the changes that I'll go through in this video, and that's where things finally start to pick up and I was able to start to enjoy the gym. And everything really changed for me in January 2023. That's where I kind of hit rock bottom, like physique wise. I just come back from traveling and I was over 20% body fat for the first time. So I was in a bit of a predicament, and I just wanted to research and figure out, like, what should I do to fix this problem I had. I wanted to improve the way I looked. I wanted to gain muscle, but everything I was doing up until that point just hadn't worked. So I enlisted the help of an expert who did know what they were doing, who was in a similar position and had cracked the code. And I was just looking on YouTube at different videos, and I came across a guy called Greg O'Gallagher, more commonly known as Kino Body. And I started watching his videos, and I really liked the way that he did things. It was training 3 times a week, which seemed very doable. It was fasting, which I'd never done before, but I'd heard was a good thing to do. So eventually I took the plunge and parted with $100 to buy his warrior shredding program. And there was a whole plan like laid out for me, and I basically just had to go through the course, learn as much as possible, and then honestly just like switch my brain off and just blindly follow what he was saying, because there was obviously something that he knew that I didn't, and I just had to put my trust in the material on the course. And yeah, that's when things really started to make a difference. And within 10 weeks I had basically gone from around over 20% body fat to around like 12, 13, and I had visible abs. I was getting stronger in the gym. I had a plan for the first time. I was tracking things, and most importantly, I started to just really enjoy going to the gym, and that has carried on to this day in 2025. And I just think back to so many wasted years, and I wish I had this information available as a teenager. I just can't believe, looking back, like why I wasn't tracking anything and actually trying to learn off someone who has achieved what I was trying to achieve. So if you're in a similar position to me, You want to improve the way that you look. You want to build the habit of going to a gym, but you're not really sure where to start, and you've just never been able to get consistent with it, or you have tried multiple times in the past, but just never committed long enough to actually see results. The first thing I would say is to download or buy a program. You can get free ones from the internet. I literally Google 3-day gym program, and just on Google Images, like loads pop up. Even in the search bar, there'll be loads. So just pick one. And I personally decided to buy one because there's that bit of pain when you part with money, that you don't want to waste it. So I felt in myself I was far more likely to stick to it if I'd actually paid for it. And by doing this, you won't waste so many years like I did trying to figure things out by myself, or taking advice from people who weren't in the position that I wanted to be in. And I like to use the example of learning to drive. Imagine just trying to learn to drive by yourself and without an instructor. It's like unthinkable, really. It would take you so much longer, and you're better off just making the investment up front and gaining the knowledge and walking with someone, even if it's through like a course, and they can just show you exactly what to do. And then eventually you get to the point where you don't need them anymore, and you've got enough knowledge that you can sort of go your own way until you see the desired result that you want. And secondly is to track your lifts. Now, I never used to do this. I'll just turn up and try and remember what I did last session, which obviously just never worked because there's only so much you can remember. And that was really difficult to progressively overload because there was no way of knowing. I wasn't tracking anything. And it would just use unnecessary extra brain energy to try and remember. So one thing that changed for me, and in August 2022, I got the Strong app, which looks like this. Not sure if it'll focus, but for the first time, I had basically a list of workouts that I could do. I just go on my phone, tap start workout, and it's got all my last lifts there so that I can try and beat the score this time. And I can actually see the progressive overload every session. And I'd also add to track body composition and calories as well. Just initially, it will really speed things up, and particularly the body composition, the tracking really helps for motivation. It's what really like pulled me through. So in summary, my biggest gym mistake was not having a program or tracking any progress. So if you don't have either of these things at the moment, I recommend either finding a paid program from someone on YouTube or just by Google search, or just finding a free one, downloading it, and then getting the Strong app, creating templates on there. On the free version of the app, you can have 3 templates, and if you want more, then you'll have to get the pro version, which is well worth it in my opinion. It's only like $30 a year. And then each time you go into the gym, you won't be going through the motions. You'll have a set plan that you know will work, and you can really just start to build from there. So if you want some one-to-one help, I do offer coaching. The first link is in the description. I can take you through the whole process. And yeah, apart from that, that's everything. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.